I'll get the loo.
You're joking.
What? We're about to start?
No, go on then.
Yeah, but go for it.
Yeah, because we want to hear it.
I don't really... Oh, yeah. That's what I go.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I didn't realise we were that close to starting.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the queen of Lousy Advice. I've given it, I've taken it, I've heard it, I've spewed it out to loads of people, I've done whatever else with it. But here we're at the Lousy Digest, which is my magazine, which I'm the head editor of. And it's not just me. There is a tiny, weeny little intern sat next to me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, fine. Hi, everyone. I'm Rory. I'm the tiny little intern that's actually 6'2", so not so tiny. Thank you very much for listening.
Rory's also here for another reason, not just because he's got nothing else to do, but also because he kind of acts as like the voice of reason. Because if any of you know me, even if you don't know me, I know that I'm someone that just like to embellish a story or sometimes chat a bit of shit. So Rory's also here to kind of even that out and make sure that some things that we say do have some kind of logic or something behind them.
I'll try my best.
You've got a very exciting episode this week, if I do say so myself. This week, following from the wedding chat last week, we're actually going to talk all things engagement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Engagement / proposal.
Yeah, because Rory actually pulled his finger out his arse and did propose to me last year, so now we can talk about it. Because
I had to pull yours out of yours so I could put it on, didn't I?
that is disgusting. Right. You're meant to be the voice of reason, not
Sorry,
the
I was
voice of
just
crude.
It was too easy. It was like right in front of me. I had to take it.
We've talked for like 2 minutes and you've already mentioned arse, which is just not necessary. So, first of all, we're going to do some casual chit-chat.
Yay! Oh, God. Another perfect segue into the casual chit-chat.
Yeah, so do you want to be casual first or shall I?
Last week, what we were talking about is that I was about to go away on a boys' trip, which was quite exciting.
Okay, fine. Come on then, tiny intern. Talk to us about your boys' trip.
So I went on this boys' trip, and as expected, it was a lot of fun. Very nice just to get away for a few days, et cetera, et cetera. What I didn't like was that although Holly...
Because you're away from me.
Well, no. What I didn't like that although you weren't there was that Holly was tracking my every move. So we were like one night, we had a few drinks and we ended up at this bar called Horno's Beach Club, which sounds a bit like more smutty than it is. It was just like a bar on the beach.
Apparently.
Get a message from Holly, how's it going at Horno's? Every single place we went to has got these texts through via Find My Friends. She was literally tracking her every movement.
I just want to clear this up. This isn't because I care where you are or what you're doing. It's more that it's just my form of entertainment. I wasn't on social media. I had nothing else to check. I checked my credit score. That's how bored I was. So I was like, I might as well see where all my little minions are.
No,
so I
but
was
no.
on there. I was seeing where my mum is.
There's no
more
excuse
so.
because you do this to me all the time. Like I'm driving
Bullshit.
home from somewhere and like say I lose signal for a minute, she'll ring me like, are you okay? Where
That's
are
because
you?
you're a bad driver. Whenever I'm in the car with Rory, we always get beeped. And I think that's the ultimate sign that you're a bad driver. So when he's out there on his own, I'm worried
I
about
think
it.
I dish out more beeps than I get though, so it evens out as like a positive beep to beep ratio.
You're just not very good at driving. Like Uber drivers sometimes when they're driving, they make you feel a bit travel sick, and it's because they've got an electric car. Rory does that in every car. It's horrible. You can't look at your phone if you're in the car with Rory.
Not true.
Anyway, sorry. Back to the big boys trip in Horno's.
I was like saying to the boys, oh, like, if your girlfriend's been saying like, how's it going at Horno's? They're like, what? No, that's so weird.
Yes, because
You got nothing to come back with. You know the behaviour's indefensible.
I just wanted to know how Horno's was. What was going on there? If you were getting a strip tease, whatever.
Holly,
I'm actually very
you
calm.
messaged me in the
collected,
morning
chilled.
saying, am I going to get one of those hey girl texts? How did you phrase it?
Hey girl text. That's where like, say you were snogging someone in Horno's.
Yeah.
Then someone's going to message me like, hey girl, I've just snogged your boyfriend. My tiny intern, sorry.
Did you
And
get
I'm
one?
Fuming. No.
Okay,
not so,
got away
not
with
thus
it then.
far.
Good. I mainly just wanted to call you out on the Find My Friends activity, which I think is a bit weird. And I'd like to know in the comments, maybe,
God.
do you do this to your other half, to your boyfriend, girlfriend? Are you tracking their every move on Find My Friends?
Because you should.
Also, as a follow-up, should I remove Holly as a follower on there? Because I'm starting to feel a bit suffocated by it.
Anyway, moving on. I'm going to get cancelled for this. You're chatting so much shit. You went to Horno's for one night and suddenly I'm on the watch. No, it's fine. I've got other people on there. I'll just watch them instead. Suits me.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want you to do.
All the girls are watching this. They'll do the same thing. I think you are flattering yourself that I'm checking you because I'm scared. Like I check my friend Liv. Like my friend Liv lives in Dubai, and I like to know what she's been doing at the weekend. Like I need to know where she is. Is she in bed at the right time? Is she gone back to someone's house? Like I keep an eye on her. That's how I do it.
I think it's weird behaviour.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So the other thing I'd like to talk about from this holiday, Holly did a video saying how she doesn't miss people, blah, blah, blah. She was like saying, saying that she didn't miss me and that she doesn't miss people. If I think I could just start up like an anti-Holly social media account because I could just prove everything that she's saying is completely wrong. I got multiple messages while I was there saying, miss you.
Because
To
that's
which
what
I
you're meant to
responded
do.
saying, miss you too.
Yeah.
So why are you saying things to me that just aren't true then?
Because, okay, so what I was saying, if you didn't see this video, is that I do not miss people. So I can say it. I'd say I miss you, but I don't actually miss anyone when they're not there. Like, I love being with you. And when you go away, initially I'm like, oh, that's sad. But then when I go and do other things, I don't think about people that aren't in like my immediate view, which I actually think is difficult because I don't think of like friends. Like I honestly am thinking of getting a picture of every single one of my friends and putting it on my wall. So I like remember that they exist or to text them. So when I say to you, miss you, I don't mean it, but I just think that's what you do in your relationship, don't you? You kind of say, oh, good night, like love you, miss you. And also, I think if I'm actually being incredibly honest.
Careful what you say here.
The reason that I say it is because it's quite nice hearing you say that you miss
fine.
me. Playing paddle is just my entire life right now. But like, actually, who cares? I don't care about any of you and any sports you're doing, so why would you care what I'm doing? So let's just move on, shall we?
I'd like to move on to don't get your knickers in a twist. Would you like to do that too?
I would love to do that too.
Let's do that too. Okay, welcome everyone to this week's instalment of Don't Get Your Knickers in a Twist. So, people that are listening, what you need to visualise here is we've got a huge pair of leopard print pants, naughty knickers, that are absolutely massive, and we're about to twist these to help visualise how twisted our knickers have got in this past week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that a good description?
It's a bit slow, but other than that, it's perfect.
But I have to think about what I'm saying because I'm delivering to two audiences, both the listener and the
Yeah.
viewer. So, Holly, should we start with you? What's got your knickers in a twist?
My issue of the week is it's something that's really getting my knickers in a twist, and it's also pretty topical to the pants, is I'm struggling as I'm getting older to find the most suitable pair of pants to wear day to day.
Yeah.
Like I'm in like an absolute pants crisis.
No?
Yeah, I honestly am thinking they could be the next ones that are up.
Yeah.
Because, right, I don't know what's happened, but suddenly thongs can't bear them, the texture, the feeling of it, they're going all up in the places you don't want them and it's hard to get them back out. But also I don't want the mega massive ones because then you can see them under everything you're wearing. So at the minute I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what to do.
You just wear the mega massive ones. What are you on about?
No,
That's
I
why you're
don't.
always in the mega massive.
You know, I am normally in the mega massive. I basically have these pants and they have the days of the week on. And I really like that because I don't have to think in the morning about what I'm going to wear. I just know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. And I have two pairs of each of them so that, say I wore one in the morning and had an accident, I could put the other pair on in the afternoon. I wouldn't have to then go on Tuesday when it's Monday, which would be obviously horrific. However, it's more like when I'm going to the gym or going on a night out and stuff like, well, not that I ever go on a night out, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my issue at the minute. None of my pants are fitting. I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's a body thing. So anyway, this is getting my knickers in a twist about 6 out of 10. And this is true because my knickers are actually always in a twist at the minute.
So okay, fine. So it's very clever what you've done there. I like that. Very clever.
Yeah.
You're the CEO for a reason, aren't you?
Exactly.
Right then. So for listeners, I'm about to crank the pants. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good.
That's exactly what I'm dealing with when I'm at the gym at the minute. And
So that's right up there.
Yeah, like I can't explain to you how much I'm
That's what's
going
causing
through
that
it.
issue that we were talking about before the show with the...
No, we're not talking about that. Rory's desperately trying to get us to talk about skid marks on the show. And I'm actually not
This
doing
looks
it.
like I can understand why that's happened now.
When you go to the gym and you wear gym shorts, it's really hard to have a pant that works because men's clothes are baggy, so you can't see your horrible boxers, whereas you can see everything. And then sometimes it gets right up there and you have to decide whether to do a whole workout with it up there or to be seen to be picking it out, which I think is a bit rude. Like, what would you do in that situation?
I'd just pull it out.
You'd pull it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only get one shot at pulling it out as well. And if you don't quite get it, it's still uncomfortable.
No, I'd always just pull it out. If I've got a wedgie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
I know, but you've got a 100% success rate, whereas for a woman you don't, because you've got so many different like crevices that it could go up.
This
You
is,
might
like,
pull it out
right
of one,
in
it might
there.
go up the other. But anyway, moving on swiftly before Rory brings up skids. That is, yeah.
Okay, so
lovely.
Holly's naughty knickers in summary are looking like this week. It's a 6 out of 10. For listeners, just imagine some leopard print pants twisted about 6 times on the twistometer.
Yeah, move on.
So with the naughty knickers, I'm not sure if you're actually going to hear this because every week my naughty knickers thing gets cut because it's just so boring and I've
That's the first one that stayed
Oh,
in.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I made it last week. Chris very kindly left it in. I think he felt bad that he'd cut me out for 3 weeks in a row.
It still wasn't interesting,
Just
though,
because my
was it?
stories are always so boring. So I'm taking a different slant on it this week because basically I don't think I'm like Holly and I get wound up about these mundane things like week to week. I just like cruise through and I'm happy and my pants don't really get that twisted. So what I'm going to talk about is a bit more topical one and bring it back to the episode.
Why are you being such a brown nose? Just get on with it.
We're talking about engagement. So the thing that gets my knickers in a twist about proposal engagements in general is that once you've paid for this ring, which might cost quite a bit of money.
Show off.
Yeah. Sorry, that didn't. Sorry for listeners. I was just like pretending to have a load of cash. But
This makes it worse
weird.
that you're now explaining what you just did. You could have got away that listeners don't know you're being embarrassing.
Yeah, well, I was just making sure they're brought along on the journey.
Okay.
So anyway, you've bought the ring, you've given the ring, they've said yes to the ring. You've then got this ongoing cost for life, this insurance business, which is mental. So Holly, I've had to pay for this first year of insurance.
Had to. Not that I didn't ask to be proposed to. It's all on you.
Yeah, but then for the rest of my life, I've got to pay this cost, which
As
is
you should.
It's mental.
But I've got to pay the cost of being your fiance or wife or whatever the rest
What's
of my
the
life.
cost? You're not paying any cost for that at all.
You don't give someone a present and say, can you pay for the insurance on it? I can't possibly go halves.
I just don't think it makes sense. And also, the thing that's really twisting my knickers about this is that Holly loses absolutely everything, and I can absolutely guarantee she's going to lose that ring at some point. So I've had to pay more for insurance that covers loss.
Yeah, but this is what you signed up for.
What I'd like to know is, in the comments, listeners, viewers, please, on this one, I would like to get your thoughts. Should the person who's given the ring, bought the ring, should they be paying for the insurance for the rest of their lives? Or should the person who's not had to really pay for any cost of the ring maybe pay for it the rest of their lives? Or splitsies, maybe.
I know what you're doing there, and you're giving 3 options so that your splitsies one doesn't look so bad. But I just want to say, so I know you. He is a horrible finance bro, so ignore
I'm not
him.
a finance bro at all. I'm studying with some naughty knickers as the intern at Lousy Advice.
I didn't ask to be proposed to. I
You
turned
did.
up. I didn't.
You did.
I turned up to a hotel.
I'm sorry, we can
chilling,
get into that in more detail in a minute, but you did not ask to be proposed to. You asked for, I was going to say weeks,
I've
years.
got to wear this the rest of my life, and he wants me to pay for it as well. I think that's outrageous.
This is going to get cut anyway. This is my naughty knickers segment. Right,
How
anyway.
twisted are they?
This is actually so annoying. Anything that's financial to me is so annoying. So this is like a 9. This isn't just like a one-off financial. This is a year. I'm going to have this a yearly reminder. And it's probably going to crank every year, like tighter and tighter. So for
I've just got one point. What maybe the way you should look at it is that although you do have to pay for this ring for the rest of your life, Rory has never in his life paid for his own Spotify or Netflix. His mum still pays. So I do kind of think there's a balance there. What do we think about that? Get in the comments below.
that's not true. I'd like to start with Holly got.
Where are you? You don't even know where you're going with this sentence, do you?
Anyway, the beauty.
I've won.
9 out of 10 crank. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I had to do the last one quite small then to listeners because it sounded like it was about to snap. Thank you very much for coming to this week's Don't Get Your Knickers in a Twist. Thanks.
I just cannot find for the life nor money.
For love nor money.
Oh, for love nor money. I cannot find. Sorry.
Hello, listeners and viewers. Welcome to this week's segment of Lousy Advice of the Week.
Perfect. I
Is that what I
the
did there?
camera action. Yeah.
Let's go in camera to camera. Clever.
So clever.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, Holly, talk me through the lousy advice you've heard with regards to engagement/proposal.
I've got quite a few because if you watched our wedding episode, you'd know that I find engagement, the whole wedding situation, I find it all quite odd, if I'm honest. The whole concept is kind of goes over my head a little bit. I think maybe because I take things quite literally. So one of the things that when we got engaged, loads of people said to me is they said, how's the engagement bubble? Oh, you've got to soak up the engagement bubble. You've got to really be present in the engagement bubble. But let me tell you, we got engaged at the weekend. We then came home. Then we went back to work. And I was like, what do you mean engagement bubble? I'm having the same lunches, same dinners. We're both watching the same TV shows and we're going to bed. Rory's still picking his nose next to me in bed. Like, there wasn't suddenly this big moment of like lust and love.
I don't know about that. I think we were in a bit of a bubble. I think
I wasn't in it, if you were.
You were. Come on. Holly's just giving it the big one. She was so in it. You were loving me at the time. I think the engagement bubble, you do actually feel, you've got like engagement party that you're going to have. You've got people talking to you about how much you're in love, etc., etc. And you say, yeah, I am in love.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't understand. You're mansplaining the engagement bubble to me. People kept saying to me, make sure you're making the most of this engagement bubble.
So the advice is to make the most of the engagement bubble.
Yeah.
You say that's lousy advice because it's not fun.
No, it was not. I think it's lousy advice because I think maybe I was thinking so hard about what this engagement bubble was meant to feel like that then I was stressing myself out that I wasn't in this engagement bubble or I wasn't engagement bubbling properly. I think that is what I'm saying, is that if you get engaged and you don't feel any different about like in general, I don't think that's crazy. Do you think that's crazy? I don't understand. Did you feel like
I felt quite
very
nice.
different?
Yeah, I felt like we were engaged. Yeah.
You cannot tell me that you were in an engagement bubble.
I don't know. I don't think I was in a bubble, but I think I was enjoying life at the time.
Were you?
Yeah.
Beforehand, you were. Like, beforehand, Rory is not, like, a particularly emotional person. And the week before, I was like, this man is so in love with me. Like, it is amazing. It was like these feelings had come out of nowhere. You were, like, so, like, oh, should we watch something you like? And, like, holding hands on the sofa. I was like, what is happening? Either he's having an affair or, like, I don't know. It was like he had days to live. Like, he was just absolutely obsessed with me. And I kind of thought to myself, oh my God, we're going away this weekend. Maybe he's going to propose. But I kind of thought in my head, I hope he's not going to propose. And maybe like he's had this light bulb moment and he's just
had a personality
obsessed with me.
transplant. No,
but no, it turned out it's because we're getting engaged.
I was just warming her up.
So he was.
I needed to make sure you were like up for it.
So my next bit of lousy advice is, leave the ring up as a surprise. Like, let him choose it. Don't. Like, why would you do that? You've got to wear that thing for the rest of your life. I think sack that off. Don't leave it up as a surprise. You've got to be hinting, and you've got to be hinting hard, okay? I'm talking Pinterest boards. I'm talking, if you see a ring that you like on Instagram, you're forwarding it to him. You want to get that explore page, which is tits and cricket, and you want to make it engagement rings and love. That's all you've got to focus on.
Some people might have said to me, oh, like just choose it, like you'd know what to get, etc. I would have absolutely no idea. I'm not a shopping person. I hate shopping more than anything. So I agree. Look at us agreeing.
And
although, sorry, can I just pull you out slightly? So Holly, yes, she did make Pinterest boards, and yes, she did send me rings. But every single ring on these boards and the ones she sent to me were completely different. You'd have like one that was like some silver thing with a big diamond. Then you'd have like one that had like 10 different rocks in it of completely different colors. You then get these like swirly ones. They were all so different. I was just left so confused. And I said to you, look, like, what are you going to, because you just sent me one that's completely different to the one you sent me last week. What if I bought the one last week? Because obviously you've moved on. So then I think you realize you need to stop sending. You need to settle down.
Well, first of all, I was testing to see what the budget was. I was putting some feelers out. So initially I was sending a few.
Some of the ones you were sending was so exciting. I was like, I'm not buying that.
I was like sending quite big ones to begin with, being like, are you getting me a rock or what, babe? And then I'd kind of see the response was, maybe I'd tailor it, be like, oh, I think I can get a bit more. Or I'd be like, okay, I think I'm going to get a bit less. Then you send a few just to throw him off. Do you know what I mean? And then you send the one that you actually
Why do you want to throw me off?
Because
don't throw me on.
I then was making sure it was a bit like magic. Like, you know, when you see those like clairvoyances or whatever, and they're like telling you what to get you, but without telling you. I was giving him the waves because I was sending him loads of rings, but there was one specific one that I was kind of sending more. Also, what I was doing is sending ones that were bigger than the one that I wanted, so it made the one that I wanted seem like not as expensive. Like, I kind of wanted you to be a bit like, oh, I'm not going to go all the way here, so I'm going to go here, whereas naturally he probably would have gone here. Do you know what I mean? Also, another thing is, right, you can just lie. So say you want to be able to say that, like, oh, my boyfriend chose it, like, boy done good. Just say that. Like, some people ask me, did Rory choose it? I just said, yeah. Like, you must remember that it's your world and everyone else just living in it. Just make it up and say, yeah, he chose it, whatever. Yeah. Okay, my final bit of lousy advice is there was this article, right, in Glamour magazine in 1982, and there was a recipe.
Sorry, this is called Lousy Advice of the Week, not Lousy Advice of the 4 decades ago.
But I've done actual research for this section. Anyway, my final piece of lousy advice is the engagement chicken. This was a recipe developed by Kim Bonnell, a fashion editor at Glamour magazine, following a trip to Italy. She gave the recipe of this chicken to a co-worker, and the couple were engaged shortly afterwards. This recipe then made the rounds. The magazine claims 70 couples have married after the woman served their boyfriends the dish. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, I don't know though, because this is lousy advice, because I'm vegetarian, so I would never ever serve Rory a chicken.
Yeah.
So I just think with this...
Is there a vegetarian alternative?
Kim Bonnell, like, what am I serving him? Because tofu's not going to get him going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just do think it's lousy advice that we've got to cook something to be given the ring, because I do think it's an honour for you to be able to be engaged to me.
Just feel a bit backwards.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I wouldn't cook a chicken. Would a chicken make you think, yeah?
If you started cooking me chicken, I'd be more into you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello, 1960. This is where you're going to get clipped. That's it. That's the real Rory top that you've just seen. I hope you're ready.
Just because I literally cook I cook every meal. So
I do all the
if
washing.
Holly did start, no, you don't do any of the washing up. If Holly did start cooking, then yeah, obviously I'd be more into you.
We don't want him to be more into me though, because then he'd be so obsessed. So, it's good to keep things on the back burner. Anyway, Rory, what's your lousy advice?
The main thing I thought was people say, I don't know how people just do that and go off and buy one. That is mental.
I think because some men have got taste. They don't just wear like one Uniqlo t-shirt and the same chinos for 7 years. It's probably
I've
a little
actually
bit
got
easier.
branded top on today. I don't know if people watching can see, but this is the first branded bit I've got. Issue of this podcast is I've got to wear a different t-shirt every week. So next week will be 6. And I'm going to, so I'm nearing the end of my wardrobe because I do mainly just have plain white or plain black.
I remember when we first were talking on Hinge and I said, what is it that you hate about dating the most? And you said having to go through the rotation of your black t-shirts or something, of your dating outfits. Because Rory's got like 3, he's like Dexter, like he's got like 3 outfits that he just wears on repeat. And he's like, it's getting a bit exhausting dating, having to change it up every few times.
Anyway, back to engagement. One other thing I would mention is that people that say that you should do it on Christmas Day or their birthday to then... But the reason people are doing that is to try and avoid having to get like double presents. I don't think that's a good idea because I think if I did that with Holly, she would absolutely hate it. You did tell me before I couldn't do it on birthday.
You'd be getting on one knee and I'd be like, get back up and change the date immediately. I'm not having one less celebration. Goodbye.
But I know that I wouldn't be able to get out of the double present thing either. I think you'd actually ask for like a triple present just because it's like, you'd probably in your head like multiply the 2 things together on the day and it's like even bigger than if it just added together.
But this is what I mean. With engagements and stuff, I don't want you to intercept another thing like a birthday and think you can get away with that. I need as many dinners in the year as possible. When we were first together, I also managed to squeeze in. It was my 10,000th day alive. Oh, yeah. And Rory bought me some like hand-painted trainers that I really liked. I was so pleased with that.
I was a weak man back then, I think. I don't know why I did that.
Sometimes when I'm getting desperate, I'm like, I need a present, but there's absolutely no reason that I'll get one. I go back on that chart and I try and work out like whether I'm on like my 100th month or whatever.
That was unfair because I didn't get one in return. It was my 10,000th day about 1,000 days later than Holly's and I didn't get anything.
It's not 1,000 days later, you are. So, yeah, boys don't get presents, they just give them, so shut up. Anyway, is that all of your advice or what?
That's not my advice. That's the lousy advice of the week, actually. Yeah. And that is a wrap on lousy advice of the week. These pants don't untwist. It makes no sense. I don't actually understand this. Because like, one way you turn it, it makes me seem like I'm like proper stupid. It's like,
come on!
This looks
just
like
unhook them.
This looks like I'm trying to do it to be funny, but I'm not. This next section is general discussion, question led. Let's go.
Question led's just a prompt for us, but I'm pleased that you've included
Sorry,
that.
section. What's it called then? Next section is called general discussion.
Yeah, nice. So, how did this whole getting Rory to propose... I say getting Rory to propose like it was this big shift, but it was to some extent. So it all started out that I basically gave Rory my timeline, right? And I think this is what happens. You get to like the age of like 28, 29, and I've been for we were 2 years with him before. I was like, oh my God, I don't care, and we move in. Like, I'm just so easy and like laid back and chilled. Then I sucked him in, got him to be in love with me, and then I was like, right, this is the timeline of how things are going to go. And I said to him, babe, we're moving in next year. And he said, yes, okay. I then said, we are going to get married in September 2026. And I said, I don't mind when you propose because I'm going to be there, babe. So if you want to get married, that's when it's happening. That's the only window. Now that we're engaged, I've sacked that off. So don't worry. You don't have to come to my wedding.
It's all completely untrue.
It's all fart, no poo. I just wanted the ring. I don't want to have to go through the whole wedding shit. I said to Rory, these are my timelines. You can do what you like with this information. Goodbye. So it wasn't just that he just was like, he knew the terms were set, okay? You've got to put your foot down. Love and stuff like that, it isn't all just floaty like movies and it's like, when's it going to happen? Then what you do is you start soft launching. What you ideally need is a friend that gets engaged because that really puts a fire up their arse. So luckily, we're some of our very... Or a pole, it's not putting a pole up your arse. Rod up his arse. That was it. Yeah. We've got a big engagement-shaped rod right up Rory's arse because our very good friends got engaged. That gets the cogs turning. And then also what happens is you get tips. So I spoke to Molly and I said, babe, how'd you do it? And she said, babe, I've been sending hints for about 6 months. I've been sending rings. I've been sending tips. So she then helped me. She showed me all the Instagram pages that she follows that she was sending over. And then she said, I've got engaged now, so I can help you. It's a bit like, when they say like you need a village, like she'd managed to secure enough food for her like home. So then she was coming over to mine and was going to help me secure it for what I needed. A bit like a school project. When you finish your school project, so you go and help your friend's school project.
I wouldn't have done that.
That's what I know you wouldn't, but that's what she did. So she then got behind me and we both got to attack Rory from 2 angles, didn't we? She was helping me out quite a bit.
I think the main pressure is, as you said, is like when friends have been together for a similar amount of time, then get engaged, because then you're like, well, why haven't you done it? Especially if one that's been together less amount of time.
Also helps if you're a year older. I found that also.
Yeah, that's what's done me, that you're so old. Because like quite a few of my friends have got girlfriends that are like a few years younger. They're still chilling. They're not even thinking about it.
I know. Okay, right. Now we're going to move on to the bit that is actually interesting. And we're going to tell you the engagement story. Do you want to kick it off? Because you did the engagement. If you try and tell it in like an interesting voice, like less pauses, like maybe if you kind of really think that you're reading, like you're in the theatre right now.
Bit of passion,
and you're
bit of charisma.
It's like panto, okay?
Okay, right. Who wants to hear it? Right, who's ready? Engagement story time. I've been told to talk a lot louder and with more passion, so let's go. I don't think I can keep this up for the whole thing, but let's just see what we can do. So, October 2024, Holly goes off to Dubai. I think, maybe it's time to buy that ring. Have a quick look through Instagram. Okay, she sent me one. I find a. I can't do the voice anymore. It's tiring. I'm just going back to my normal voice.
It's tiring being interesting.
Yeah, it's just so much easier being monotone. Back to the monotone. Bear with me. Maybe you can put like a voice filter on or something while you're listening. So
just speed it up, Chris.
Holly sent me through a few. I also saw that she followed this ring account on Instagram. And it was this shop not that far from us. I was like, that sounds quite convenient. I was just like trying to make it as easy as possible. And I saw that this shop sold a ring very similar to one of the ones she sent me. It wasn't the exact same. I was like, this is perfect. So then Holly then goes on holiday to visit a friend in Dubai for a week. And I thought, this is the only opportunity I've got. But as I was mentioning earlier, actually, the main problem was Holly's addiction to following me on Find My Friends. I was like, how on earth am I going to go to Reigate without her knowing? I just turned it off for an hour and I was like, hopefully she just doesn't look. So before I go to buy the ring, I take Holly's mum and dad to ask for their permission to take her daughter's hand in marriage.
You weren't asking their permission. We're not in 1960.
I said, Nigel, are you and Leonie, as I thought, I'll take both your mum and your dad. It's good to ask them both. Some people might just take the dad. I thought, no, both. Both's nice. Nice thing to do. Anyway, Nigel then, I said, are you free for a drink this week? And he's like, yeah, okay. He was like, yeah, can do. I'm busy, like, he just like says, I'm busy this night, busy. I'm like, okay, well, when can you do? So he like squeezes me in on a Tuesday night. Anyway, so we go and meet them, have a drink, and then ask them. And it was actually really emotional. Like your dad was crying, your mum was crying, I wasn't crying.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I just haven't really got that in the locker.
Such a shame. Like, do you know what? When we went to this concert, I went to Robbie Williams last summer. And because in the song, it's like, and through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. Anyway, I turn around to Rory and Rory's crying. And I'm like, oh my God, is that because he's thinking about me in this song? Because I offer him a lot of love and affection and attention. And I turn around and I'm like, what are you crying about? Like, obviously, and he was like, it just reminds me of Allsage, which is where he's from. And I was like, are you joking?
Well, no.
You're crying because of your town.
It'd been an
I'm
emotional
here.
day. So earlier that day, England had just got through on penalties. So we'd watch that and we'd had to run straight from that to Robbie. And then second to that, Robbie is a big Port Vale fan, as am I. And he's from Stoke. So
That's
he's
a
like
football team.
pride of
Shit
the
football
Potteries.
team.
And I just thought, how amazing is that someone from Stoke is on this stage performing in front of all these people and he's made his life that good. So I was just like, felt quite
How
emotional.
can you cry about him, but not even about proposing to me? And he goes, you don't know Robbie. You're never going to meet him.
Well,
You can't
Robbie,
even
if you're
squeeze
listening,
one
get in the
out.
comments. We can meet.
Also, my dad is also so skeptical. Wasn't my dad?
He said, yeah, when I get there, after I asked him, he was like, yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were going to ask for this, or he was like, I thought that you might be like about to break up with Holly, and I thought you wanted some advice on how to split the deposit of the house. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, I just thought that might be what it was because like Holly's away, and I thought you might have found it a bit easier to talk to me and Leonie about. I was like, what? It asked you two for a drink to discuss. I'm going to break up with your daughter, and I'm like, I want some financial advice.
Because my dad prefers Rory to me anyway. So he would have been like, oh, you want to fleece her for all she's got.
Yeah, he's like, right, what you can do is, there's no paperwork, so you can probably take it all. Also, what I hoped your mum might bring to that conversation was knowing your ring size.
Yeah.
She's like, I've got no idea. I was like, what? I was like, how do you not have any idea? I was like, surely Holly's told you this. So what I'd advise people to do is tell your parents ring size.
I had bought a ring size then. I was heavily hinting at you that we could work it out.
I don't know where that was or what the size
And I
was.
forget that boys don't really pick up on hints. Like, I've realised it's a waste of time trying to hint.
Yeah,
anything.
so I was like, okay, I've got no idea what the ring size is at all because Leonie's got zero clue. So I was like, I'm just going to have to go and buy this ring and hope for the best.
You just know I've got fat fingers. Did you say in the night sometimes you were looking at my fingers to see if they were going to fit?
Yeah. Fast forward a few months. It's our anniversary. So I take Holly away for the weekend to the Cotswolds, go to a hotel, get there, lovely hotel, wake up in the morning. Holly's like, oh, I've got a headache. I'm like, why? She's like, oh, I don't know, I've just got a headache. We go for a walk. On the walk, Holly's like, oh my God, this headache's getting too bad. And I need to tell you something. I was like, what? She's like, I think you're going to propose today.
Because, can I just say, I said to Rory before, I said, I think because I'm autistic, I'm so used to having to read people so well that I can tell when something with someone's slightly off. Like I can tell when someone's demeanor's changed. And I said to Rory a couple of months ago, I was like, I feel like I'm going to know when you're going to propose. And I don't like not being on the same page as people. So is it all right if I say to you, I feel like you're going to propose today? And Rory was like, well, no, if I'm going to propose, can you please not?
Yeah,
like,
I think everyone does that. Everyone's like kind of knows it's happening, but they just keep
I don't want. Why are we cosplaying? Like, we don't ever do that. It feels like some weird, like role play, and I do not want to be part of. So I would rather just be like, "Are you going to propose?" Rory would be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Go on then, let's just do it now," because I don't like the anticipation. However, he'd taken me to this nice hotel. We had a very fancy room, and I was like, Rory Toft is not going to have done this on his own back. So I was like, "Why have we got such a nice?" I'm joking. I was like, "Why have we got such a nice room?" Because we never stay in like really nice places. We'd rather go for longer and not get something nice. Anyway, and the woman was like, oh, this is such a nice room. And I thought, why is she talking so much? That's suspicious. Also, when we got to the place and they were like getting the reservation, Rory was literally shitting himself. Like he was sweating. And I thought, again, fishy. And I did think in my head, I think he's proposing, but I also thought he's not asked what ring I want or any information, so maybe he's not. But to give you the benefit of the doubt, I was like, I was also being awkward and leaving you to it.
So we're on the walk. Holly says, I think you're going to propose. I think, okay, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to have to really throw off the scent here. So I was like, what? Of course I'm not going to propose today. Like, I'd never do it on our anniversary. Like, absolutely not. Like, why did you think that? And then suddenly she's just completely off the scent. She's like, oh my God, I'm so relaxed now. Like,
I can enjoy myself
Yeah,
now.
she's like, okay, I'm not getting proposed to today. I can relax. So we go back to the room and chill. And I'm like, right, we've got an activity at 3:00 today. So I was like, we can do whatever we want. We just chill before then, but we've got this activity at 3. And Holly's just like lying in bed, gets to 3:00 and she's like, right, what shall I wear for this activity? Because I hadn't told you what it was. The activity was me proposing.
If any of you didn't get that. His storytelling's so good, he didn't know quite when it was going to happen.
Okay, well, let me just back to me.
Yeah.
So Holly's like, for some reason, you get in your head, we're going ice skating for some reason. So I was like, so then, because Holly said earlier that day she thought I was going to propose, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to play up to the fact that she thinks I'm proposing. So I was doing, it's hard to do it in a chair, but I was lunging on the bed, knee to knee, pretending to propose in front of her, just to
On the ice.
Yeah, and then I was knee sliding around around our bedroom as if I was on ice, pretending to propose.
Yeah.
Like really trying to throw her off the
Just
scent.
giving me the ick before we get to the proposal.
So then Holly then thinks we're going ice skating. So she's like wearing like the oldest pair of trainers, like a grey pair of jeans, this big old coat.
I look like my dad.
And obviously I know we're going to go for the big proposal here. Whereas she thinks we're going ice skating. She's like, is this all right? And I was like, pissing myself. I was like, she's going to absolutely hate wearing these clothes for the photos. It's so funny. And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. So I was like, anyway, they're picking us up from the end of the drive of the hotel. And so we're walking down the drive and then we do a sharp turn, get into this little garden bit where the staff would very kindly set up this area and did it there.
Yeah, he'd set up this little hut and it was like all these like candles and everything. And I was like, oh my God, Rory, hang on, we're walking into someone's proposal. Then I look at Rory, he looks like a deer in the headlights. And then he was like, and I was like, oh my God. And you know when like people that get proposed to, they cry and they're just like, oh, I wasn't crying like that. I was like in absolute shock that I was like hyperventilating. Like I was like wailing. It was like I was being born. Like I couldn't get any control.
So I was just on the one knee as you do. And yeah, Holly was just above me going, so I couldn't say anything. So I was down there for ages. I didn't say anything because Holly was just like having this like panic attack.
Yeah, you were like, you're putting me off with this wailing. I can't say anything.
Yeah, I asked you. You didn't say yes for a good like 10 minutes or so, which was I
was having to think
worrying.
about, this is definitely what I want.
Yeah. But eventually she said yes. And I was like, nice. Oh yeah. And then back to the ring, this thing I've been panicking about for months. It fit, didn't it? It was like one size too big. So I was really lucky.
We sat there, we talked about how in love we were, and then we went in the jacuzzi that night. I nearly had to do a piss around the back of the jacuzzi because we drank all the champagne really quickly, and I'd forgotten that I had bodily functions, and I was like, I desperately need to piss. But Rory was like, what if there's cameras? And I was like, I don't want us to get kicked out of this hotel the night of a proposal. Then we went to dinner, and then we got back, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed by this day. I actually can't get to sleep. And that was the end. So that was fucking hell. We got to the end of that story. I've told that story so many times. It's so dull, so I'm sorry if it wasn't interesting. But yeah, it was good. We liked that.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, but then when you start twisting it...
Take it off the other end.
Oh, take it off there. That is so much easier. Well done, Holly.
This intern. Use your brain.
Right. Can we just reflect on it? Do you think I did a good job?
Yeah, you did. Actually, do you know what the first emotion I remember feeling is that ring opening, or like knowing Rory was proposing before he opened the ring and just thinking, oh my God, what if that ring is shit? Like I was like, what if the ring is shit? Because I don't know what to do in that situation. I'm such a can only say exactly what I think person. I don't think I'd be able to pretend that I liked it. And I was really like, that's really going to kill the vibe, but I'm not going to be able to keep that to myself. I don't know if anyone's had that where you haven't liked the ring. Like, did you just let that moment be nice and then later on be like, we're going to have to change that? Or did you just go along with it? Because I feel
that
like...
would hurt if you asked to get it changed. I mean, for me, not so much because I don't know a thing about jewellery, so whatever. Another
bit that I found quite hard was having to call everyone. I always see people do those like videos on Instagram where they FaceTime everyone and they're like, oh my God. But I think that was so long because you're telling the same story literally 20 times within like literally 4 hours. And I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, we were doing what we've just done then, but on repeat.
Yeah. And also what was freaking me out is you're going, whoa, and everyone's going, bah! And I was like, oh, this is too much. I wish everyone would just calm down. So I kind of wanted to message everyone and be like, this has happened, but like, don't worry. Like, I kind of
we did it quite slowly, didn't we?
Got engaged, but no worries.
I think we literally just told our parents on the day. That was it.
Yeah.
And then the next day we did a few, and then we did it like eked out.
But I didn't really like the telling everyone. It felt really self-indulgent, and it just felt really awkward, and it felt really weird because you're being like, woo, and everyone's like, congrats, and I'm like, congrats on what? Like, this was always going to happen. Or like, what? Congrats that he's on board? I couldn't quite work out the congratulations. I was like, I haven't done anything. My next point was, after we got engaged, you know what I thought was interesting? I felt really weird about being like, oh my God, I'm actually an adult in society. I'm not a child anymore. Like, there's actually someone that is engaged to me. Like, I just thought, oh my God, that's so weird. Like, it felt like it changed everything, even though it didn't change anything. So if you also, I had a few people message me.
You were saying you weren't in the bubble before.
I wasn't in the bubble.
You said you didn't feel any different. So I'm just fact checking. Sorry, just for listeners.
I didn't feel in this engagement bubble of like, oh my God, I'm so in love. I can't believe he's proposed to me. I felt in this weird bubble of like, oh my God, I'm such an adult. Like, this is so permanent. Like, that is actually so. It felt weird to me that like a stage in my life of just being someone's boyfriend, which feels very like cash, and like if you break up, you would break up and it wouldn't be a big deal. It felt weird that you were actually in this stage of life where you're like, I'm actually an adult with a partner. And like, I'm definitely going to be with you for the rest of my life. Like, I was like, that's such a grown up decision. There's there's no
There's
decision
like a
I've ever
50-50
made.
chance, I think.
Well, yeah, I know there's a
stats-wise.
50-50 chance. I just... Yeah, okay. There was a 50-50% chance that it was you forever. So I did actually get a little bit like, oh my God, I'm such an adult. I'm never going to be like...
Probably even lower, actually. She's not even married. That's like the married stats. We haven't even
Yeah,
made it to that point.
loads
A
of
lot of
people
people
don't
get
make it.
engaged and then don't even make it to the marriage.
I think a lot of people sometimes are more excited about the wedding and getting engaged than they are the actual person. And then like once you've got the ring and you've had the big wedding, you're a bit like, oh, is this it?
Yeah, boring.
That's why we're not getting married. We don't want to find out, is this it, too soon. So that's the end of that segment, unless you've got anything else to say.
No, I can't give any more details on this story.
No. Do you want to tell them what you said in your vows to me?
No.
Come on.
I just said a few nice words during the proposal, I think.
Yeah.
But you couldn't really hear them because you were like doing this weird hyperventilating.
I know. I feel like I've missed. There was
So
just
Holly doesn't
one
actually know what they are. She
chance.
keeps trying to get me to say them to her. I haven't said them since.
Honestly, some people have said to me, like, what did Rory say to you? But I was so busy being weird. I do not remember a single second of what he was saying. And I'm so gutted because there's only ever been in our relationship one other moment that he said nice things to me. And that is, I've got it starred on my phone. It's a WhatsApp message before we were together where I dropped him to meet his mum halfway up England. And he messaged me being like, I really care about you, by the way, blah, blah, blah. And I starred it being like, oh my God, I'm going to have a whole
Build a
folder of starred like WhatsApp messages that I can go back and read of Rory saying nice things to me. But that's the only one in there. And the only other nice thing he said to me is this engagement. And I can't for the life of me remember a single second of it. So I've said to him, like, have you written that down? Because you're going to forget that because that did not come naturally to you. But Shakespeare over here is like, I don't know. So I need to unlock
yeah, but
this.
I can't say it on here because people are then just going to realise I've got it from like Etsy or something.
I could just make up a different proposal video. Like what you could actually do is go on a holiday to like Mauritius.
We should have done it on the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
Really
I
nice.
still think I've got a chance to make a more like dramatic video
Yeah,
for
okay.
it. So it doesn't have to be real. Again, just
Yeah,
fake
should we
it.
just release some unseen footage of our engagement?
Yeah. We've now got Don't Take My Advice, where we're going to go through some of the questions or dilemmas that you've sent in.
People have been really good with this.
Yeah.
Lots of people have sent through questions, so thank you very much. There was a lot. I've been loving reading them. Some of them have been like pretty personal like things that I think, wow, like fair play for sending that through. Keep them coming. So we ringing someone up? What are we doing?
No, we're not. We're answering me and
We're not.
you. No.
Well, we can spin it and it can land on you.
Bosh, landed on me.
What should we do? Should we like fire through them?
Yeah.
Okay. So first one, actually, I like this. So whoever sent this one through, thank you very much. It says, should you go splitsies? I'm not sure how you spell splitsies, but splitsies on the engagement ring.
How would that work? Do you message someone and say, hi, I'm thinking of proposing to you next week. Do you mind, have you got 500 quid? Do you mind sharing?
I think so. I think they've taken, like what I was speaking about the insurance earlier, they've taken that step further and been like, actually, why am I, if we're entering into this thing together
Yeah.
and there's one item coming from it,
Yeah.
should we split the cost? Because I haven't received anything in return.
Yeah, I
A
know.
lot of my
but
friends have received like watches or like new golf clubs or whatever. I've got absolutely nothing.
You've got me for the rest of your life and you've got an internship.
Exactly.
You got an internship, so you can shut up. But also, another thing is, like, you're still swanning about like you're single. Like, you're going out, people are still maybe wanting a slice, whereas I've got this. This is literally saying, don't come near me. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got that anymore. So maybe that's the sacrifice that I've made for you. And
Well, that I can
because of
still
that-
get with people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, fair. All right, I didn't realise that was the case. Brilliant.
Because I'm getting at least, it's a bit like what I said last time with like, when you get a boyfriend, you get less likes on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? You kind of get less likes. If you get engaged, you get even less likes. So I am taking a hit, but I will do it for love.
You get that initial like bump, like where
Yeah.
you do the engagement post, everyone likes that, and then after
Yeah.
that, it's just
like
a
your
bit of
few
a-
hinge mateys from the past that were kind of hanging around, thinking, sniffing.
Stop. Is there
being
an
a bit
episode
like,
go by where you don't
could
talk
I-
about some ex-partner of yours?
I don't think I can. I think I'm in love with all of them still.
Okay, great.
But yeah, I think they do. When you get engaged, they're a bit like, I think it's now time to unfollow because I don't think I'm going to be able to claw my way in. But I'm sure a lot of them were sniffing around me before that moment. So I'm sorry, guys. I know that
They
you were
can't have been
waiting
sniffing
out.
too close because you've been stinking.
Yes. I've been trying out some natural deodorants and it's not worked out entirely well.
Right.
That was embarrassing and I actually did sting.
I've been with my girlfriend for 3 and a bit years. She's a bit wacko, but I think I really love her. Interesting. At what point do you know if you want to marry them?
The thing that is really concerning me there is not she's a bit wacko, because I support that and I love that. It's the I think I really love her.
Yeah.
And what do you mean you think you really love her? Those adjectives aren't quite
Maybe he
working.
knows he loves her, but he thinks he really loves her. He hasn't quite.
What do you think? Is that how you... Did you submit that?
Well, no, because we're engaged, so I don't think I could.
I don't know. What do you... I don't know.
At what point do you know...
suggest.
Well, at what point did you know you wanted to marry me?
When you had half the deposit for the house.
Yeah, brilliant. That's Holly's dad coming out into there. That's such a your dad answer.
I don't know what our advice is. We don't know. We don't know anything. This is Lousy Advice. How do we know? Go to the ring shop. Be about to tap your card. And in that moment, if you want to tap it, you're like, yeah, fine, okay, I will marry them. If you don't want to do it, then pull it away and sack it all off and go again.
Yeah, I think that's actually how you should know. You should.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've answered that one quite well.
I got engaged in March and don't feel any different. Hoped was going to feel cute and different after proposal, but still bickering, annoying each other and living the 9 to 5. Is this normal?
I think that's a sack. I think immediately sack that off. Like, people say, oh, like, yeah, they think that getting married or engaged or having a baby might make things like good or whatever. If it, it's not going to solve anything. Like,
No.
It's just, how is wearing this bit of metal on your finger going to stop like your boyfriend being annoying, whatever he's doing? I don't know what he's doing, but it's not going to stop it.
I completely agree. Like, it is nice having a ring, but I'm sure, it's not really going to work. Or what you could do is get engaged. I don't think you have to return the
they
ring.
are
You sack it
engaged.
off.
That's the thing.
They are engaged. Oh, you've already got the ring, so yeah, just sack it. And then, I don't know, put it on Facebook Marketplace to get yourself a holiday to the Caribbean. That's what I'd probably suggest. You have a much better time there.
I hope we haven't actually broken this couple up. I'm sorry if we have.
But maybe we have, and you're out there living your life,
it was
queen.
bad that we might have done. But I think you should just sack it. If you ever have any doubt about anything, I always think sack.
Yeah, I agree. However, I do think it's interesting. They said we got engaged, blah, blah, doesn't feel any different. We're still living the 9 to 5. Unfortunately, I don't think the engagement... I don't know what you think happens to the engagement, but you're still going to be living the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, right. My boss is
there.
actually letting me come in later to work because I've got a ring. Yeah, no, it's not getting you out of that.
No, we're saying
Sack.
Get the ring, pawn it, go on holiday, sack it off, and then you are still in the 9 to 5. That's it.
Okay.
Next.
Feels a bit...
Bit what?
I don't know, a bit risky.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, don't obviously actually listen. This is all alleged, and this is lousy advice. So you'd be ridiculous to actually listen to this.
Right. The final question that we're going to read out, and again, thank you so much for sending them through. Really appreciate it. Some great questions that come through to the WhatsApp.
Such a brown nose. Just get on with it.
I love you all. So the final one that's come through is an interesting one, slightly different. So they've said, how do I convince my boyfriend to propose even though we live 2.5 hours away from each other?
Why do you...
What?
You can't live 2.5 hours. What was the point?
Well, so you don't think he's unconvincible then because...
No, I think just sack it off. I could not be asked to have a boyfriend that lived 2.5 hours away. What is the point?
Yeah, that just
I
sounds
don't
a
have to
bit
get in a
annoying.
train or have to drive that long every time I've got to see him. That's also going to cost a lot of money in petrol or in the train
But people
ticket.
live a lot further than that.
The fact you'd also have to do so many phone calls, the thought of having to speak
You'd have
to
to say
Rory
that
on
you
the
miss them a
phone.
lot as well.
You'd have to miss them. I think just sack it off, get one that's closer. The
Yeah,
end.
there are a lot of people in this world. You'll be able to find someone as good, if not better, a lot closer. So I'd just get rid of them. So let's just very succinctly, concise, any other synonyms for that? I don't know. In a short period of time, tell the listeners what you've learned from this episode.
Okay, what I've learned, here's my lousy advice moving forward if you're in an engagement scenario. Number 1, Instagram is your best friend. Send him rings. Don't even have to send him a message, but you need to narrow it down. You need to narrow down what you're after. I was sending everything, and that really put me at risk at getting something that wasn't good. Once I narrowed it down, I got the goods. Second thing, engagement might be different for some people than others. I felt very overwhelmed and like, oh my God, this is scary and I'm an adult, blah, blah. Some people are in engagement bubble, like living their best life. You're not going to feel the same as someone else. And also, if you're comparing it to people on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, a lot of that is staged. And like you can put a really emotional song behind anything. Like me, when I thought I was going to piss myself behind the jacuzzi after the engagement, if we'd put a sweet song behind that, that could have looked really emotional and nice. Do you know what I mean? Like you can decorate a turf, so don't compare yourself to anyone else. 3, I would have hated a camera on me. I'd have performed. So I know people are like, I want to have a video, but what do you want it for? So you're going to get 100 likes on Instagram. Like, actually do what you're going to enjoy. I'm actually so pleased there was not someone videoing me because I definitely would have acted up and been weird. and found that really awkward. And I would have kept posing and it would have been odd. And then again, my final point and my main point, if you want him to propose, just tell him what's what. Like I said to Rory, I'm getting married next September. Are you going to propose or are we just going to turn up on that day? You just got to lay the law, make it happen, the end. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That was quite a good TED Talk from you. I like those points. They were all pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't got too much to add. I think a lot of like what I would advise is things I've said during the episode. I think for the person receiving the ring, I would try as hard as you can to hint on the size, because that was like what sent me into a panic, was like not knowing the size. And then the person who's going to be giving the ring, I would advise, as I said before, take both or as many parents and guardians as they've got.
And cousins and aunts.
Yeah, to the thing where you ask for the permission, because I found that really nice.
Can you stop calling it asking for permission? Because I think people are going to be like, what? It's not, you're not asking permission, you're letting them know. You weren't like, Nigel and Leonie, can I do this? You were saying, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think I phrased it as, I'd like to ask Holly to marry me. What do you, I can't remember what I said.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I didn't say, can I have your permission? But I don't know what.
My dad was like, please.
That's what people refer to it as.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's right.
Okay, sorry.
It's no one's permission, it's up to me. I'm the one that decides. None of those bozos.
They're my bozos.
Anyway, disclaimer, this is all lousy advice. Please don't take it. The next episode is going to be very exciting. It's coming out next week and it's all about Freshers Week. And just us both giving it a big oi oi, because we were both turning it sideways when we went to uni.
Yeah.
If you want to find us anywhere, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Rory has now got a TikTok. He's sniffing about trying to get his own career. Yeah, but you weren't doing anything on it. So you can follow me on TikTok, Holy Morridge. You can follow Rory on TikTok. What are you like? Rory 444.
Yeah, Rory 444.
He's on the road to 1K, so if you can help him, that'd be brilliant. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. That's Lousy Advice. You can also watch this on YouTube. Can you actually please just leave it on YouTube, because we're getting no views and I'm getting a bit embarrassed. So just watch it, will you? We're doing all this and you don't even care.
Whoa, come on.
I'm only joking.
They're obviously watching if they're like.
That's a little Christmas joke. Give us a like, a subscribe, and a thumbs up, or whatever else you can give us. Just shove it on there.
Follows. Is it follows on the podcast platforms is the best one?
Yeah, follow us on.
You're drowning our listeners and viewers in a sea of information here. I think if we could ask them to do one thing this week, what would be very kind and what I'd appreciate so much, I know Holly would really appreciate it as well.
Yeah,
is getting onto wherever you get your podcasts and giving the Lousy Advice podcast a follow. I think that's all. I think just forget about
just
all
follow
stuff.
And a review, please, because basically we want to be able to get. We want someone to sponsor this, because at the minute we're just at a loss. So basically, if you want to help us survive, just review us or send us some cash. Either's fine. I've got Monzo. And then, yeah, if you're wanting more, my lovely intern will be like posting a load of clips on Instagram and TikTok. At some point, I'll be doing a Substack, but I haven't started that. And remember,
don't take our word for it.
Goodbye. Love you. Bye.